is when Miss Heard, she...
That's a pretty good invitation.
What's up, guys? Amber Heard and Johnny Depp.
Oh, no.
We tired of hearing about it? I'm tired of hearing about it, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
The most interesting, most boring trial I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, so a couple things. For starters, the same people that are totally fine with live streaming Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's defamation trial are the same ones who refuse to show anything about the Ghislaine, is that her name, Ghislaine Maxwell trial? Yeah. Think about that. What does that mean? Put that in the comments. What do you think about that?
I don't know what to think about it.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know. I know what to think about it, of course. It's because a bunch of people went to that island, a bunch of people we're not supposed to know about, and did naughty things.
Yep. Drink your baby's blood.
But, so let's start from the beginning, because you probably know, people probably are overexposed to the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing. They got married. They both cheated on their significant others with each other, or at least
I didn't know that.
That's the alleged. Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
All right. Well, let's go back. They met on the set of the Rum Diaries, I guess is the name of the film. He had been married for 25 years to his wife. She was in a relationship. They met, hit it off. Sparks flew, as they say. And then they both split up from their significant others. Johnny Depp got a divorce. She was estranged to her significant other, and then shortly after that, they got engaged and married. They got married in 2015, I think it was, and in 2016, Amber Heard filed for divorce. So less than a year, she filed for divorce.
Wow.
I'm not sure whether or not they had a prenup. I don't think they did, and I think she was just gold digging.
No. It was Johnny Depp. You don't have to be a gold digger to want to be with him. And she's an actress in her own right with her own money.
She sounds like she hates his guts.
She does now after she was married to him.
For a year?
That can happen.
She hates his guts because she wanted his money.
No.
I'm just saying, allegedly. This is my opinion. My opinion now, I think she was gold digging. I think she was hunting a free paycheck. I really do.
Well, I do think there are women who do that. I wouldn't assume that she did that because
she sounds crazy.
She had her own career and stuff. And I don't see her need to be gold digging because she had her own pile of gold, just not as big as his.
I mean, that's true. It's fair. Yeah. But I'm just going to say she's gold digging. Married for less than a year, files for divorce. They settle out of court. That wasn't good enough for her in 2018. 2 years later, she makes an op-ed piece basically saying that 2 years ago, she was a survivor of like sexual abuse and assault and abusive relationship and all this stuff.
Is she insinuating from Johnny Depp?
Who else was she with 2 years ago? Johnny Depp.
Oh.
It's pretty blatant and obvious from the op-ed that she, in fact, was referencing her relationship with Johnny Depp. When that happened, when she did that op-ed, Disney immediately dropped him from Pirates of the Caribbean. He was switched from being Grindelwald. They removed him as Grindelwald for this third movie that just came out. So he lost that. He lost millions of dollars in contracts, obviously. Yeah. And he's tainted as, because of the Me Too movement and how it all works out, he's tainted as the guy who did it, whether there's any evidence or not.
Yeah.
There's no evidence, just her testimony.
I'd say we have more evidence that she abused him than we have evidence that he abused her. Yeah.
Now. But he had kept all that stuff. He had recordings. He'd been recording their fights they'd had for over and over and over and kept it all himself when they settled out of court.
And, what's the abuse that we do know about for sure? So he lost a finger. One of his fingers got severed.
Yeah, so this finger that the tip is gone, that was from a fight they had where she threw a vodka bottle at him and ripped the tip of his finger completely off.
Yeah.
And then,
well, I heard that what happened was his hand was on the table and she mashed the bottle on the table.
She threw it at his hand and on the. So yeah. I've been trying to follow the trial closely-ish. And so essentially she threw one bottle of vodka over his shoulder. Then he was like, well, I'm going to take another shot from this bottle. And let's make one thing clear. We're not jumping to the defense of Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I bet they're both nightmares to be married to.
He is a drug-dependent, alcoholic guy with his own issues, absolutely. And there's no question about it. But she lied and said that he physically abused her. That did not happen.
That we know of.
That we know, or that you can prove in court. And that's the problem.
You can prove she abused him in court.
If you're going to make these claims, you got to prove them in court. And he's got all the proof all day long that she physically assaulted him on multiple occasions.
Oh, that recording.
Yes.
Where she was going, I'd like to see you go in front of a court.
Try to prove this in court, Johnny, and tell him it was a fair fight, Johnny.
You can please tell people that it was a fair fight and see what the jury and judge thinks. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, man, I'm a victim too of domestic violence, and yes. It's a fair fight. And see how many people believe or side with you.
You're such a baby, Johnny. I didn't punch you. I'm sorry I didn't give you a proper slap, Johnny. She sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Like, really does. And he is emotionally distant and dependent on drugs. Let's just say it. Just to function. And because of that, if they get in a dispute about anything and it gets a little too hot for him, he immediately retreats to his comforts. I want to be alone. I want to take drugs and alcohol, according to testimony. Like, because every time they have these fights, it's always like, were you on ecstasy? Were you doing alcohol at this time? I was pretty drunk. Like, basically, he has to tell about how many drinks, how many pills, and all this kind of stuff he'd taken. So he's clearly dependent on drugs and alcohol. He talks about being exposed to it when he was 13, 14 years old, something like that. Mm-hmm. So, yes, he's got significant issues. And he probably is emotionally distant. He probably is a little bit of a train wreck to be with. But per his wife's testimony and everybody who knows him, he's gentle, he's a sweetheart, he's never abused a woman, ever.
So what's the point of this trial thing?
It's essentially Johnny Depp trying to reclaim trying to salvage his reputation. And if he can't salvage his reputation, then he's at least going to have a hefty payday so he can move on and maintain his lifestyle.
Is this just like divorce court, or is this a defamation trial?
No, this is a defamation trial.
Oh.
They've already they settled out of court, divorce court.
Oh,
It was 2 years after the divorce, she did this op-ed about surviving the abuse in their marriage. And that's when he's like, okay, he lost all those contracts. He's like, now we're suing the snot out of you. Because he was tainted. He's tainted goods. He even mentioned it. He says, it's like you go from being 1 minute you're Cinderella, the next minute you're Quasimodo. Nobody will touch you. Nobody will put you in a role at all.
Yeah.
And the only way he comes back from it is if he wins this defamation case. And she has to pay money. Then it's like, okay, she was wrong. Johnny Depp's a great guy. And then all of a sudden it's like, let's support Johnny, whatever,
I saw a headline that said her lawyer had quit.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
Maybe the headline was ridiculous, but that's what I just saw.
Let's go over let's talk about some of the craziness about these two individuals, all right? Johnny Depp, alcoholic, drug addict.
Why are we talking about that again?
I'm getting out of the way so I can get to the juicy bits.
Okay.
All right, obviously, right? And when he's up there giving his testimony, it's like he's acting. It's like he's taking his time, like, this when Miss Heard, she...
That's a pretty good imitation.
Mrs. Heard, she dropped a naughty on my side of the bed, You could just say she pooped a turd. Basically, so let's go into some of her crazy. So her crazy, there's all kinds of back and forth where she's like, I did not hit you, Johnny. He's like, don't tell me what a punch feels like. I know what it's like when I'm being punched, man. And he's like hiding in his bathroom. She's pounding on the door in some of them in the of the bathroom. So she's got all kinds of crazy, right? Like hitting him, physical abuse, end of his finger. She put out her cigarette or cigar, his cigar or whatever, in his cheek, apparently, allegedly. And yeah, so there's that. And then also it just recently came out that she let a grumpy, as he called it, on their bed, on his side of the bed. For those of you who don't know what a grumpy is, that's Johnny Depp speak for she pooped a turd on his side of the bed. She defecated right there on his side of the bed.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about that.
What was the photograph of Mr. Depp?
It was a photograph of the bed, our bed, and on my side of the bed was human fecal matter.
We just don't need to talk about
We're bringing the news. All right? The news is Amber Heard's crazy enough to drop a dookie right on your side
She
of the
might
bed.
have just been drunk.
No, she did it on purpose.
No.
And then blamed it on the dog. And then Johnny Depp's like, I've owned this dog for a long time. I've cleaned up lots of fecal matter from my dog. This was not the dog's fecal matter. She let a grumpy on my side of the bed.
Well, that's why I say it's like the most interesting, boring trial. Everything is slow and repetitive, but you find these little gems of seeing what their life was really like, and it's crazy.
It is insanity. They're absolutely 100% toxic for each other. They needed to be divorced for whatever the reason. Can we find out? If there was a prenup?
Well, you can try to do that, and I'll tell my story in the meantime.
All right, please tell your story.
No, I lost it.
Johnny Depp prenup.
Well, one of the things I heard that she said was that he was old and boring and just sat around with his other old boring men making music. And I was like, well, who doesn't want to sit out around and watch Johnny Depp play guitar? She was getting free concerts and did not enjoy it, apparently.
Okay, so
I'm done.
Amber Heard claims Johnny Depp hit her during violent fight over the prenuptial agreement.
Over it?
Yes. Apparently.
So they must have had one, and then she got mad about it. Because he was like, you're not getting nothing.
Apparently. How much did Amber Heard earn? She's an American actress and model who has a net worth of $8 million.
That's good.
That's not Johnny Depp money.
I heard that he spent $2,000 a day on bottles of wine. Now, apparently, he's drinking like $800 bottles of wine, so it's easy to spend $2,000 a day, but still, I couldn't imagine that.
Depp, who is worth $150 million, and Heard, they started dating in 2012 and married in 2015 with no prenup. Worth $150 million. She's worth $8 million, and they had no prenup, according to, now listen, this is alleged according to stylecaster.com.
Well, then why did she hit him over the prenup?
I don't know. But he's worth $150 million, and she's worth $8 million, and they got no prenup. They got married, and a year later she filed for a divorce. She's a gold digger, digging for all that gold.
So, okay, here's one thing I wanted to tell you just to get your reaction on.
Please tell me.
Had you seen how crazy she... Okay. In testament to her being crazy, have you all seen the outfit she's been wearing?
No.
Okay. So, like the first day, Johnny Depp wore this gray suit with a black shirt under it. So the next day, she wore this gray suit jacket with a black shirt under it. And that day, he was wearing a white shirt that had a tie on it that had a bumblebee at the top. The next day, she wore a white shirt that had a tie with a bumblebee on it.
I did see where people, she's been copying him. I didn't know about styles. I saw these.
Like she's wearing his exact outfit.
Yeah, I saw these articles where like.
At the court trial.
I saw these articles where like, if he goes and gets a drink, she goes and gets a drink. If he cracks a smile, she cracks a smile. Like crazy stuff.
She's weird.
It's crazy. What this tells me is that people need prenups.
No.
People need Jesus and they need prenups.
No. Jesus, no prenups. That's a whole discussion.
Yes, it is a whole discussion. Let us know what you guys think. If you're tired of hearing about this trial, so am I. But it's, I agree with you. It's the most boring yet / interesting thing going on right now. Let us know what you think about it. And prenups. Should people get prenups? This is going to be a discussion we're going to have later, probably sometime. Should people get prenups? Should they not? Should Amber Heard and Johnny Depp just have a fist fight and just settle it and be done with it? No court case. I'm just kidding. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Let's Talk About It. Right now, there's no better time to support conservatives and conservative content and for conservative creators to get out there and let their voices be heard. So I would encourage you, if you're a content creator, to go ahead and start more content, get more content out there and get involved and add to the conversation. Support and share this with as many people as you can. One share could make the difference on whether or not somebody who needs to see this content gets a hold of it. So support conservative Christian content. Let us know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, keep being awesome, because that's how God made you. Let's talk about it.